Hey everybody, how's it going? Haven't seen you in a while. Or maybe I have, but you were wearing a mask and I didn't recognize you. So I'm George Colligan. I know that it may be hard to recognize me, but I'm here at the 1905 in Portland, Oregon, which is really our best jazz venue here in Portland. And we haven't been here in a while because of the COVID-19 outbreak, fiasco, some might say. But we're here doing a live stream, and this is something I found out about last week. And Greg Goebel, great pianist who lives in Portland, He did one last week, and so we're continuing on. This is, I guess, going to be a weekly thing. So Greg asked me if I wanted to bring a trio in, and so I'm always happy to play. And certainly for all of us musicians, it's been a rough couple of months, not just from a financial standpoint, but also just from a creativity standpoint and from a music standpoint. Like we want to play. We feel bad when we're not playing our instruments. So it's not the ideal circumstance, but we're happy to be here, and we hope you're going to check us out. And also want to mention that for this live stream, if you put $20 in the tip jar, you will be eligible through a raffle to get a $100 gift certificate to the 1905. So 1905 has still been in business with food delivery. In fact, my family, we order pizza from them every now and then. So, you can always get delivery from them, and they have excellent pizza. And so I want to give a shout out to Aaron Barnes, who is the proprietor. And he's also a decent saxophonist. I don't know why he never brings his horn, but maybe he will when things return to normal. He'll get his saxophone out again. And of course, Holly Resnick, one of the owners, the whole 1905 family. We're very grateful to have a place to play. So I'm going to introduce the trio to you. On the bass, we've been playing together off and on since I moved to Portland in 2011. And he's originally from Spokane. Spokane, right?
Yeah, you said it right.
Okay. I want to make sure I sometimes I pronounce the things. So I really want to say Spokane. I don't know why, but it's just because I'm.
As long as you don't say Oregon, you're okay.
Yeah, exactly. So on the bass, a graduate of Portland State University, Eric Gruber on the bass. Applause, applause, applause. And originally from Chicago, who's been living in Portland for how many years, Michael?
Mostly here for 7 years.
7 years, okay. So we've been playing off and on for about 7 years, and so former Chicago resident, now Portland resident. Give it up for Michael Rayner on the drums.
Woo.
Let me just have a drink of water real quick. We are now in the summertime.
We got people from Houston.
So there is a screen here that has people who are commenting, and Michael is the closest one to it, and he has his glasses on. So what are they saying, Michael?
Looks like about 3,000 or 4,000 people watching. I'm getting a excited vibe, very excited vibe.
4,000 people?
4 or 5, maybe 10. It's hard to see for sure.
10,000 people.
It's a lot of people, a lot of fans, a lot of huge jazz fans.
More than 6,200.
Oh.
Sharon White says hi.
Is it?
Don't
Is this streaming anywhere?
don't blow your crowd sizes out of proportion
streaming
here.
anywhere other than-
We've learned from that mistake. At least some of us have learned.
Yeah, but
Hi,
it's-
Sharon.
All right, let's get to some music.
Where I look.
We're going to start. This is a blues that I wrote a long time ago, and I used to have a different title for it, but it's dedicated to another club in Washington, D.C., which was really important to me coming up. And the owner of the club, I'm sort of wondering where she's at this point. But this is dedicated to her, and this is called Blues for Ann Mabuchi, and we hope you enjoy it. thank you. I hope. Ah, there you are. Thanks for joining us. That was a composition of mine called Blues for Ann Mabuchi, who is former owner of a great club in Washington, D.C. called the One Step Down, where I heard all the cats, the D.C. cats, the Baltimore cats, the national cats, Gary Bartz, Mulgrew Miller, James Williams, Cedar Walton. It's one of the great spots. I got to play with Gary Bartz there, play with Idris Muhammad there one time. So just as a place to hear music, I used to go hear essentially one of my piano fathers, Bob Buddha, played there with everybody all the time. And so that's basically how I learned to play, was just watching Bob Buddha, writing down chord changes. So that's dedicated to her and the club and DC jazz in general. Eric Gruber on the bass, Michael Rayner on the drums. We'd like to continue now. Any comments worth addressing?
Wow, loved it. Sharon, thank you.
I know Sharon likes it. I mean, thank you, Sharon.
Francesco is curious if we...
Is it Francesca?
I think it's Francesca.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah, Cha-Cha. She's from Astoria.
She notices that all the... Oh, I'm sorry. Notices that all the masks are the same color and was wondering if we worked that out.
Well, we shop at the...
Masks are us.
Yeah, we shop at the Mask Warehouse out on Route 2. Get a good deal. Well, this is custom made, okay? I get it fine tailoring. That's just how I roll, really.
These are designed for music making.
I don't buy off the rack.
No,
You know what
I
I'm saying? Got to get it custom tailored to my face, for comfort. Okay, we're gonna continue now. This is a tune that I wrote while attempting to practice some Chopin, and didn't quite go my way. So I ended up with my own tune. So take that, Chopin. This is called False Valse. Take that, Chopin. You rascal. Thank you very much. Hold your applause. No. Thank you for listening. If you're out there, oh, now I can see a little bit.
Thanks, David.
Thank
I can't really see. Jaime, what are you talking about? Dang, the banter took the number down. What do you mean, Jaime? Jaime is a drummer from Winnipeg. Don't let the mask scare you, people. All right, some of you are just being silly. Can we try to be serious, please? Oh, and of course, drummers are going into drum nerd zone, Camcos. You want to talk? Would you like to talk about your cymbals a little bit?
We might need to talk about felt washers. Just a brief, I like to not have a felt washer on top, but maybe 2 underneath.
How many lugs are on your snare drum? Because I'm seeing
I won't play
about
anything
7
with less than 9 lugs. Yeah,
a lot of,
but they are Camcos. For whoever asked about.
They're
Camcos.
not for sale.
And they're not for sale.
Asking people to share. Share the stream.
Now.
Oh, yeah.
Share what?
The stream.
So it's really.
Please share the stream so we can get.
That share button.
Yeah.
Let's see if we can get more than Greg's group in here.
Yeah,
know?
for sure. It's all about competition. All right, we're going to continue now because I'm having a blast playing. So,
You got about 50 people online right now.
okay, cool. I'll take 50 is. I had anticipated 1 million, but the ticket sales, I don't know, something
damn
weird.
TikToks.
Yeah, the TikTok shit really. We're gonna. So that last tune was actually recorded. I did this record for a new label that was started by the great drummer Lenny White. He has a label called IUWE. And so we put this out last year, and Lenny White plays on it, and Buster Williams is on it. So it's a trio that I've had a little bit of work with in the past couple years. And the record is called Again with Attitude. And so that last tune is on that record, and you can buy that online. And we're going to play a couple other things from that record, one of which is called Lost on 4th Avenue. And this is something I wrote a few years ago. I lived in New York for about 15 years. I lived in Brooklyn for a good portion of that. And Brooklyn has changed so much in the past decade that I was just sort of about walking around and not recognizing anything. So we could talk about George's haircut. Corey, I mean... Well, let's talk about it. I cut it myself because that's the times we live in. I ordered clippers, and no, actually I ordered clippers and they didn't arrive. So I had to go buy clippers. It was sold out at Target. So finally they got back in stock, and I bought clippers and cut my hair myself. So, and probably will from here on out. Anyway, this is Lost on 4th Avenue. Thanks for listening, everybody. And remember to share. And also, if you want to be in the raffle, put $20 in the tip jar.
Pizza's great.
And the pizza's great. All righty. Whoops. Uh-oh. Technical difficulties. Thank you so much. That was Lost on 4th Avenue and featured Eric Gruber on the bass, Michael Rayner on the drums, coming to you live from the 1905. And we're so happy to be here and sharing this live stream with you. Just want to remind you, if you put $20 in the tip jar, you're eligible for $100. You're in the pot for a $100 gift certificate, a raffle. And please share the streaming so we can get more listeners. And let's see what else. Any questions that you can see there, Michael?
Roberta's online now. That's good news. A lot of killing. Judy suggested again with attitude.
Oh, yeah, right.
Again with attitude. Oh, the title track, so to speak.
Well, I mean, I think she's just commenting that you're playing with attitude, or maybe it was about the haircut. I'm not
Is that
sure.
the what?
Might have been about the haircut. It's hot. It's hot under these masks.
Sure is, yeah.
Indoor jazz.
It's killing us.
I think it's going to be, who knows? I mean, personally, I feel like the wearing of masks may continue even when, we feel like COVID is, we may not be sure, but masks could be a trend, a fashionable trend. But you also have to consider that with global warming, there's going to be less clothing. So
Might just be the mask then.
it could be just
Yeah.
a mask and a thong could be your entire wardrobe. It's going to...
Sure.
Well, they would make them interchangeable, so you could have,
That's true. Is this my mask or my thong? I'm not sure. Honey, where did I put my mask/thong? Going out in public is going to be like some weird European S&M movie.
Yeah. No, I'm
Just masks and thongs.
Brave New World.
Yeah. That's bravery. Those are the heroes, really. Let's continue. Let's take that. Actually, you know what? Let's slow it down a little bit. This is a brand new tune, and this is called Golden Years. you, thank you, thank you. Thanks for joining us. And if you're just tuning in, that was a composition of mine called. Oh. Thank you so much. And that was a composition of mine called Golden Years, brand new composition. And once again, Eric Gruber is on the bass, Michael Rayner on the drums. And we're here at the 1905, thanks to Aaron Barnes and Holly Resnick and everyone here at the club. We're so happy to be back, even under these somewhat abnormal circumstances, but we're just, I don't know about y'all, but I'm very happy to be playing and making music, and you know, hopefully we can still find ways to make music in this environment. Any comments?
Sounds good to me.
I've had anybody commenting that we need to address?
We got England and North BC, North Vancouver, British Columbia too.
Oh, fantastic.
God bless the Queen.
Wow, I've heard of those places.
And someone's making dinner to your mellow music, and it's wonderful.
Cool.
What
Well,
are they-
speaking of dinner, 1905 is still doing takeout, and they have really a great menu, but particularly their pizza. They're known for their pizza, and we order from there. My kids, my 5-year-old and 10-year-old, love the pizza. When they were still having in-house dining, a night, an eventful night for my family was, you know, before I would play here, we'd bring the kids, and my 5 and 10-year-old would have pizza and ice cream, and then they would go home because they didn't want to hear the music. But you know, they had fun doing that. So, shall we press on?
Yeah, except
press.
that
Are we feeling warmed up?
Having issues with PayPal? Is that what I said?
PayPal. Oh, my PayPal? What are they saying?
they're having trouble.
Say more, Sharon.
Sharon, are you having trouble paying?
Sharon, we want your money. Please tell us what we can do.
Well, she's figuring that out. What
She said
song
trouble
are we
sending
playing next?
via PayPal.
Huh.
So is this
Interesting.
thing on there?
The address, my official PayPal address is ghc@pdx.edu. That's my. It's a long story. It's my my PSU email. So if you're interested in coming to PSU, you can also use that email to ask me about degree programs and so forth. But it's because I lived in Canada for 2 years, so my other PayPal is I'll be paid in loonies and toonies. So
Thank you, Sharon, for
yeah.
tipping, by the way.
we appreciate it, Sharon, as always. Now we're gonna do another brand new tune. Now that last tune and this tune we're about to play are sort of what we call contrafacts. They're based on the same tune, and see if you can guess which one. But this is another tune. Oftentimes I write 2 tunes at once. I don't know why, for balance, or maybe because I'm nuts. It's called Kill. This song is called Kill. Like what we're doing musically. This is, I don't know if you're up on the technical jargon, but what we're doing is killing. That's what we're doing.
You are killing
Or crushing. We're crushing it. Oh, why I have to read this? I want to make sure.
You need your track for this?
Yeah, I did. Actually, I don't. All right, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Well, that was fun. Thank you, everybody. That was called Kill, and that was based on another tune, which you might have been able to hear. I think we're going to do maybe a couple more and then take a little break. I'm 50 years old, so I just can't do it like I used to. So when I was 48, you know. So I'm going to play a little solo thing, and then Eric Gruber is going to be featured.
Am I?
You remember the feature, right? Eric Gruber is going to play some electric bass.
Oh, jeez.
So this is, I think, his third time playing electric bass in public.
Yeah, don't.
So
Don't judge
not
me
that the
too
pressure
harshly.
is on, but
I'm sure there's a lot of people that have better technique than me.
well, don't. I mean,
So that's.
you could have some confidence. What?
Solo thing first?
I'm gonna do solo thing first, and then we're gonna do. So we'll do sort of a little medley, and I'll speak about it when we're finished. But again, thanks for listening. If you tip us $20, you are in the raffle for a $100 gift certificate at the 1905, which is still open for pizza and deliveries and pickup and all that good stuff. And in fact, I'm hoping that we'll be able to partake in some pizza at some point. Yeah, tip, please tip. So, and so we're really happy to be here, and thanks again to the 1905. And so yeah, so I'll be going into. This is from one of my favorite movies. It's an Italian movie. Well, if we're going to talk about foreign cinema, this is a film for all of you snobby film goers. This is called the movie is called Cinema Paradiso, and this is the love theme from Cinema Paradiso. If you're not familiar with the movie, it's really beautiful. And this theme, the music for the film was actually written by a famous film composer named I think it's Ennio Morricone, and he's written a lot of film music, a lot of spaghetti westerns, I believe. But this particular melody, I believe, was written by his daughter, or he collaborated with his daughter for this melody. So here's the theme, and then we're going to go into something else. So thanks again for listening. Thank you very much. Yeah, right. Is this thing on? Thank you for listening. That was called Everything's Going to Be Just Fine, inspired by current events. And that featured Eric Gruber on the electric bass and Michael Rayner on the drums. And my name is George Colligan. And as musicians do, we're going to take a pause for the cause and check for injuries. And maybe just take a chance to think about, all the stuff that we played and what is to come. We can take a break?
Short break.
Okay, we're going to take a break, and I think if anybody has any questions, I'm open to anything, but I don't have that many answers. I only have certain answers to certain questions.
Are you comfortable if it gets back into the mask and thong thing?
Yeah, I suppose.
You said you're open to anything.
Almost anything,
I'm not switching with anybody here, though.
All right, so thanks for listening. And again, if you tip $20, you're in the raffle for a $100 gift certificate at the 1905. And we'll see you in a minute. Thank you.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Moses Barrett from Left Door Streaming. I'm the audio side of things. I'm just going to talk a little bit about while the boys take a break. And first of all, we'd like to just thank everybody for tuning in. It's always such a pleasure to come out here to the
Thank you,
1905.
Moses.
Thank you, sir. It's always such a pleasure to come out here to the 1905 and stream these incredibly talented musicians. This is a part of a series. And so if you would like to see what's going on at the 1905 every week, please feel free to like the 1905 page. You can like our page, Left Door Streaming. Also, if you would like to support the 1905 directly, they have a GoFundMe page, which I'm going to post right now. And so this is a great way. They're not taking any of the funds. All the funds are going to the musicians and to keep this stream going. And the 1905 is such a wonderful home for jazz in Portland. If you would like to support them directly, please go to their GoFundMe, throw a couple dollars, and we really appreciate that. Also, if you want to win $100, throw $20 or more in one of the digital tip jars. It gets you a raffle ticket. And that's $100, a chance to win a $100 gift certificate to the 1905. Also, if you don't got $20, Lord knows we don't, times are tough. If you just smash that share button, it helps get the stream in front of people. It's a really great free way to support the stream if you're into that kind of thing. Also, check out Left Door Streaming. We got all kinds of things going on, and so we will be streaming all different kinds of music. Every Monday it's going to be jazz. So like I said, come back here every Monday to see what's going on at the 1905 on the live stream. Left Door is really excited to be part of it. I know all the musicians are so excited to be playing with each other again, to be playing for you. And so, if you want jazz to keep happening in these strange times, this is a great way to support it. And we're so glad you're here. And thank you for sharing. Thank you for donating. Like I said, feel free to hit the 1905 GoFundMe. Oh, God, they just walked out. I'm just going to keep talking. I guess I got to keep talking while you're here. Do you guys have any questions? Any questions in the chat? George is very nice in person. He seems well showered. Seems like a nice fellow. Michael is taller than I thought he would be in person, but I guess that's just because he's sitting down all the time. Oh, Marlon, definitely the sound quality is excellent. Thank you so much. We work really hard. It's really easy to make people sound so good when they're such talented musicians. I had a dear friend who's a jazz player. I asked him for tips on mixing live jazz, and she said, really you just put some microphones in front of some people and you just kind of get out of the way, which is what we try to do here at Left Door Streaming when we're streaming some jazz. And so, yeah. What else we got here? Saw some people from England and from Vancouver, British Columbia tuning in. One of the things that we think is super cool about the stream is that while obviously the 1905 is a great place and it's so cool that we have this here in Portland, it's really special that we get to reach out to people all over the world, and share the jazz that's coming out of Portland with people all over the world. and we feel honored to be able to do that with such great players here. And we would like to thank the 1905 for being such an incredible home for jazz and for being so flexible. You know, we got this whole thing rolling pretty quick, and Aaron Barnes has been incredibly flexible and incredibly helpful to us in this kind of uncertain time. And yeah, you know, we're stoked to do it. It's crazy as a musician. I'm a full-time professional musician, or at least I was, before everything went sideways. And it's crazy to play with other musicians all the time and have that be such a special part of your life, and then to have it just be gone all of a sudden. You know, it's really exciting for us as musicians to be back playing with friends, playing with colleagues. And I think you can really see it on stage. I think these boys are ripping it up and leaving it all out there, and you can really feel, you know, kind of the pent up, like, you know, everybody's ready. Everybody's ready to play some tunes with some people. I'll see a comment over on YouTube. Good microphones, which you have. Thank you, sir. I gotta say, big shout out to Ear Trumpet Laboratories. We have several of their mics. We're using a Chantel for the snare mic. You can see it right there. That's kind of their SM58. And then we love the angled, you can angle the head so you can really get it right in parallel with the snare. And then for the overhead, we have an Arduino, which is one of their larger diaphragm condenser mics. And man, we just think they sound great. They're expensive microphones, but for the sound quality you get, we think they are a big bang for your buck. So check out Ear Trumpet Laboratories. Support Phil. He has a great workshop here in Portland. And we love supporting local microphone manufacturers. And it's easy to support local microphone manufacturers when they sound so good. Anyway, that's how long should we chat? Do you think we should kick them back into gear? I think they might. I think they might be ready. Let's see. Jordan, do you want to go bother them? Jordan of 88.8 Film and Photography. He's gonna take the mobile cam. It's amazing what you can do with it.
I'm gonna turn on the audio on this.
So we're gonna.
Doesn't sound as good as the other mics.
Terrifying, but people are really fun. So in seeing that that's a very different thing.
Just seeing if you guys are about ready, or if you want to give us an ETA.
5 minutes, I just want to use the bathroom.
Sounds good?
Is this streaming?
Yeah.
Everybody in the world, George?
Looks like we're getting everybody back inside. Short breaks on the internet. Short breaks on the internet.
Actually, 5 minutes.
Oh, 5 minutes? I'm going to talk for another 5 minutes. Well, great. Hey, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. Once more, such a great experience coming to the 1905. There's going to be a 1905 jazz stream every Monday. So feel free to tune in to the 1905's page, to Leftover Streaming's page. We're also, hopefully, the artists themselves will be shouting out what's going on. And so it's really great to be able to assist this Monday night series. And thank you so much for tuning in. Please tune in again. Please tune in again. Ooh, we're figuring this out. This was at a moment's notice, which I'm stoked about to be talking here with y'all. Any more questions from chat? Let me get chat back here. No more questions from chat. That makes sense. I mean, you guys are probably cooking dinner, hanging out. I gotta say, one of my favorite things about live streams is that we. You're absolutely right, Dominic. It is such a great club. Oh, here we come. Looks like some folks are rolling back towards here. We got that. Who am I talking to? This camera now? Cool. So like I said, something so cool about live streams is that you get to experience this live jazz, and you can kind of throw it anywhere. You know, I know a lot of people put our streams on on a tablet, you know, connected to a Bluetooth speaker, and then they like make dinner or kind of hanging out near on a deck or something like that. We think it's a really cool way to experience live music. And while obviously things are terrible and hard, it's kind of a silver lining, you know, to be able to reach so many people, to reach people all over the world. So we're super stoked about it all. People are coming back to the stage. We are setting cameras back up. Things are almost getting ready. Thank you for sticking around. We've never done a break before, and y'all are hanging out, which we really appreciate. Oh, there I am. I see myself now. So yeah, like we said, $20 gets you entered into a raffle to win a $100 gift certificate to the 1905. This pizza is really great, and you should definitely try some. You should try some whether you win the gift card or not. But if you want $100, but you only want to pay $20, I mean, there's a chance you could win. So hit up the PayPal.me site. Hit up Venmo. The PayPal.me says George Colligan Skype lessons. It is the correct thing. Do not be confused by the fact that it says Skype lessons. That is where the money should be going. And we really appreciate it. It really makes a big difference. It keeps us going in this time. And I think that people are coming back to the stage.
Hey, George.
Yes.
Am I on? You got a couple questions here. This should be a quick one to answer.
Before that, I just want to shout out to Moses Barrett and Left Door Streaming. This is our first time working together, and I don't know if you guys can I would assume you wouldn't be able to see, but they have a pretty amazing production here.
Very professional.
Yeah, very, very professional. And since now streaming is kind of the vibe for now, you know, look for anything that they're doing, and it sounds like they're doing a lot, right, Moses?
Yeah, we got all different kinds of genres. We're about to start a hip-hop series that we're super excited about to feature some of Portland's hip-hop. We got this Monday Jazz series, which has been a really great, because I got to say, you know, I get to sit around and listen to a really nice mix of some top-quality jazz every Monday, which
Oh, wow.
is a very nice way to spend my Monday, I must say.
So this is going to be every Monday for a little while?
Until something changes.
Okay.
Alan Jones is next week.
Oh, wow. Alan Jones is bringing his group next week.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I get to, you know, Alan, if you don't know Alan, he's a powerhouse of a drummer and a human being. I'm pretty sure that if we could probably make a cure for COVID with his blood. Just need to get him to the scientists if he's willing.
That's true.
You know, he's probably out in the woods though, so we need to go find him in the woods and bring him.
Also true.
Bring him to the CDC. So we got some questions.
Yeah, this one should be quick. M here is asking, how can I play like you?
Well, you can't, so.
Okay, can't be done.
But I'll say this:
you.
Next
need
question.
You need to. Who is that? Who asked that?
M here 1 2 3 4
that was
5 6.
Brent somebody? He said who he was earlier.
Oh yeah.
Let me see if I can.
Brent. I
find
know a few Brents.
it. Brent Geske?
I don't think I know him. No.
Geske. Sorry for butchering
No,
your name.
Brent. Well, if you want to take Skype lessons with me, actually you can. And for anybody out there that is interested in lessons, I have a pretty wide open schedule for Zoom lessons. I've actually been really enjoying it. You know, I had a student who was taking regular Skype lessons with me, and he ended up coming to Portland State. He's a really talented pianist named Joel Bean. But since COVID, all my lessons have been via Zoom or FaceTime, and I feel like it's very, very productive. I mean, at least I feel like I'm disseminating information well. So you can send me an email, go to my website, Facebook page, whatever, and I'm the type of teacher that, you know, because I'm independently wealthy.
Move with an iron fist.
Yeah. Well, I'm saying that you know, I don't like force people to come every week. You know, it's like you come when you want. You know, if you feel like you want another lesson, have another lesson. If you don't, you know. So I'm pretty loose with it, but really been enjoying, and it's making me a better teacher, having to teach a lot of different types of people and different people at different levels, and so. But that being said, Brent, I think you should try to play like yourself, but I'll take that as a compliment. And maybe I'll hear you play at some point, and maybe you may end up you want to be better than me is the truth. So, but I came late to piano. I did a lot of practicing in the early '90s, and music is sort of the only thing I'm good at. So, if I'm not good at this, I'm in trouble. Next question.
Someone asked, how many new tunes do you write per month?
Per month. I don't have a monthly quota per se, but I do love to write music, and I'm sort of feeling like I should write less because I just have piles and piles of tunes that I even forget about. I'll sort of be going through my computer. I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot about this one, and I'll even get to the point where I will not even remember writing some of these tunes. So, but I don't know. I feel like maybe going forward, I would like to have maybe a once a week type of thing, But I have a lot of tunes, hundreds of tunes I've written over the years. So it kind of comes and goes. Sometimes, I don't know. I feel like writing just comes kind of easily to me. I don't need to be in a special place to write. If I feel like writing something, I can just sit down and kind of write it at the piano, or maybe just with my computer or with a keyboard. But it's really the reason that I got into playing piano, because I wanted to be a composer. And that was what came before being interested in being a working pianist. So the piano is great for harmony and being able to see things and to be able to just sort of realize your work. So it's interesting. I always forget to mention this because I do feel like I was late to piano. I was a trumpet player before I got serious at piano, about piano. But we had a piano in my house. My mother used to give lessons to some neighborhood children, and my father, after a few beverages, we would sit down. And he would kind of improvise a tone poem. He wasn't a musician at all, but he would kind of improvise a little tone poem. He listened to a lot of music, and so he would sit down and just kind of fumble around, and that had an impression on me. Maybe it could have been that made me interested in composition. So, any more questions? That's it. Oh, good. Okay. All right, let's continue now. Thanks for sticking around. Let's do something. This is called Waltz 1. Waltz 1. Thank you for listening. That was Waltz 1, and that is on my album that came out last year called Again with Attitude. Oh, somebody asked for the title track, right? Somebody said play Again with Attitude. Is that true? Just talking about
your haircut.
They're talking about
Yeah, I do. I think it was a request for another haircut, but with more attitude.
a live haircut. I didn't bring the clippers. And the thing I forgot to mention is that I ordered clippers off of Amazon, and they didn't come for like 3 weeks. I was like, what's going on? So I got a refund. And so then I bought clippers from Target, and I did the haircut. And then 2 days ago, it was like 5 weeks later, the other clippers showed up. So now I have way too many sets of clippers.
One for each end.
I think we're gonna make it a little bit more exciting. Let's do. This is a newer tune of mine. This is another contrafact, so it's based on another tune. And this if you can guess, for those of you who have kids, you might know the reference, but the title of this tune is Zizzer Zazzer Zuzz, and this is a children's literary reference. So in the comments, let me know if you know what this is from. So here we go. And if you also can tell what other tune this is based on, that'd be cool. Thank you very much. Michael Rayner on the drums, Eric Gruber on the bass, yours truly, George Colligan. That was Zizzer Zazzer Zuzz, a newer tune of mine, which I actually recorded recently. I have a band that I play drums in called Theoretical Planets, and we recorded recently, so that record will come out probably before the end of the year. I also want to mention that I have a recording that I just released on Bandcamp and Bandcamp only, so there's no streaming, although you can stream from the site if you want to be weird and not buy the record and just but Bandcamp is a good way to support the artist because the money goes directly to me, and I've just been dividing it with the cats. And these are some pretty great musicians. Gary Thomas is on it, Ralph Peterson and Drew Gress, and it's a live recording that I just never put out, and I finally released it myself, and so that's on. You can just go right to Bandcamp. It's called Humanity, and it's very interesting because it's was written after a very similar time, like sort of a national crisis, written after 9/11. So anyway, I think. How many people are still with us?
We got about 50.
Still, wow, so about the same. Are there any more comments, questions?
A couple of people are hip to the changes. What is this thing called Seuss?
Very good.
Pretty good.
Who was that?
David F. Ross.
David F. Ross is, if anybody cares, he's like my best friend from childhood. I've known him, gosh, over 40 years. He's a bass player, and he teaches in the public school in New York. And we kind of both came up together in Baltimore and D.C. learning music, and and he's known for his wit. So he lives in Brooklyn with his wife and 2 children. So
Rivka Ross has been on all night. Sounds great.
hey, Rivka.
Looks like just two exclamation points.
2 exclamations. All
That's
right.
pretty strong.
I'll take it.
Yeah.
Yes, I'll take it. Thanks, Rivka.
Thanks, Rivka.
M. Todd Strait is in the house.
Oh, shit.
Todd Strait, really?
Ask him if he wants to sit in.
Come on over here from Kansas City.
Yeah. Todd Strait is a drummer who used to live here in Portland, and we played together quite a bit. He's an incredible musician. But he moved to Kansas City, where, from what I hear, there's a ton of gigs and just ton of love of the music. So I've only been to Kansas City a few times, but I've been hearing so much about the scene there, so I'm really curious. Does anybody have any questions for Michael or Eric? I mean, Eric went to Portland State, right?
Yes, sir.
And
Finished up there.
and he is a bass player around town from Spokane.
Todd's got a question for me. It says, how in the hell did you get this gig? Frowny face emoji. No, I'm kidding. He would never.
Todd's
he's
too nice
really
for
never.
that.
No bad vibes from Todd Strait, are there?
Todd
Like,
Strait,
no bad
forget it.
vibes.
No,
Yeah.
he's a great guy. For sure.
Tabor asked about solo piano classical piece from memory. I don't know what that means.
Matt Tabor?
Matt Tabor, yeah.
Matt
Maybe.
Tabor is one of my students. You tell Matt to go away. I'm unprepared, Matt. Matt is a great player himself, and also really, he's quite experienced with playing classical music, and I am not at the piano. I was a classical trumpet major, but I have done very little of the classical stuff on piano, just because it's not that I'm not happy playing it. It's just that at my level, I just wonder, does anybody really want to hear this, you know? So I practice some of that stuff at home, but it's rare that I bring it out. But someday, maybe in a couple of years, I'll do a classical recital, and you know, that might be a good milestone for me. Did anybody have any questions for Michael? Michael comes from the the hard streets of Chicago. You know, so you know, Michael, you've definitely paid some dues playing with Von Freeman for years, right? How many years did you play with Von?
23 years.
23 years. That's unbelievable. Von Freeman was one of the great saxophonists in jazz. Maybe not as well known because he stayed in Chicago,
Right.
but definitely part of the history. More people probably know his son, Chico. Chico, did you ever play with Chico?
Yeah, I think globally that might be true. Yeah, I've played with Chico a couple times.
Yeah. I played with him once recently. It's very nice. Actually, I played with him a couple times. I played with him an actual gig recently. But I sat in with him at the One Step Down, and it's funny to me looking back on it because I was a guy that would just stay all night, and I wanted to sit in, but I was learning a lot too. And so if you sit for 3 sets, waiting to sit in, and you're like, for example, the pianist on this gig was Cyrus Chestnut, who plays a whole lot of piano, and Cyrus is from Baltimore, and honestly, I mean, Cyrus developed his career, but I feel like people who know Cyrus's career don't know how much stuff he can play. Like I heard him one time at the New Haven Lounge in Baltimore. He played so much that it was like Herbie times 12. It just would blow your mind. You'd be like, what is he doing? It was incredible. But anyway, he was playing piano, and so I was just sitting there like hoping to get a chance to sit in. But after hearing 3 sets of somebody just playing all this stuff, the tendency is to go up and try to duplicate that, and I was just
Right.
It just was not effective, you know. I didn't embarrass myself, but I just was like, this is clearly immature musicianship. So, but that was 30 years ago, you know.
There's a Billy Goat Tavern reference from or question from your buddy, David again.
The what?
David F. Ross.
What did he say?
We're talking about Chicago, Billy Goat Tavern.
Well,
yeah, that's a really shitty hamburger, but they're small, and if you eat 3 of them, really, it's not that bad. It's you can go down there. Andy's Jazz Club is right up the street. You can go down there on break, and if you really want to feel really bad on the next set, you can go down there and eat 3 hamburgers and come back. But yeah, the Billy Goat Tavern of SNL fame.
Wow. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. Chibogara.
Yes.
The
Right.
original.
Sure.
I gotta chime in. My sister is watching with my 2 nephews, Noah and Aaron. So hey guys.
Oh, nice.
So what was it like playing with Vaughn? I mean,
Well, it was incredible. I mean, it was. We played at least once a week. We played on the south side of Chicago at a joint called the New Apartment Lounge on 75th Street every Tuesday night. He had at least one session going like that for maybe 45 years. He played there for over 30. I don't remember what the total number was. He played at another couple of joints on the south side, but that's where I started with him. And then we played at Andy's once a month. We played at the Green Mill once a year. Played at a place called Pops for Champagne when I first started with him. And just to play with someone on that level, you know, was just so inspiring. He like a lot of people of that generation, they just wanted you to find your way. So he would tell me some things, but they wouldn't be the things that I thought I would hear. Definitely wasn't like music school. You know, he'd turn around to me and say, Michael, look here, baby. You know, and he would make a fist. He'd say, sanctified. You know, he wanted the beat more intense, and he couldn't explain it, you know, in terms of like from a drummer standpoint, you know, and I thought like when I first started with him, like, well, that's not how you hold the stick, and
Right.
you know, but then I realized like, you know, my little way of learning, you know, my drum lessons and all that stuff, when I started looking around, you see guys playing down the street, like I would go on break down the street and hear an organ jazz group, and yeah, guys were playing like that, and so that's something he had seen. If you watch videos of Jimmy Cobb, he's got his hand around the stick like that, and you know, so he obviously knew way more than I did, but like it took me a long time to come around to what he was trying to teach me to play, but he was really patient. You know, I wasn't the only young guy that he took on, you know. He was kind of like a school there, you know. He was kind of like an Art Blakey, you know, in Chicago, you know. people wanted to be around him. He was always encouraging. You know, he played as great as he played, but he was always super positive. He never was interested in cutting anyone. You know, even though he came from that era of saxophone battles and all that
Sure.
stuff. He's an incredible guy.
Yeah.
Incredible person.
I mean, it's interesting because I personally feel like from an educational standpoint, there's the school. I mean, I teach at a college, a university, in a program, but the music is not just confined to a school and to a curriculum and to books, or you got to go out there and experience it. And I think with jazz, the music is not. It's not even on the page. I mean, so when you're getting information from another musician, an experienced musician, but also it doesn't have anything really to do with your instrument. Like, in a way, I feel like we spend too much time, because the classical way is you find a teacher on your instrument, which I understand. You want to get the technique for your instrument, but if that's all you have, then it's like one of those conventions, you know what I mean? It's like a drummer's convention, you know what I mean? So there's only that perspective. But what does the bass player think? What does the saxophone player think? What does the vocalist think? Yeah. So that's one thing I wish we did more in education. Just say, hey, don't just study with, if you play piano, don't just study with a piano player, because we're just going to talk about piano nerd stuff. Study with a vocalist, and then they can tell you what vocalists want you to do, not what a pianist thinks you should do. What the vocalist wants, or what a bass player wants, you know what I mean? So you got the information from the music, not just like, oh, well, this is what the Dave, not to bust, I'm not trying to bust on Dave Weckl, but you know what I mean? Like, people watch videos and they're like, oh, this is it's all about the drums, and it really, especially in jazz, it's not about the instrument, it's about the music. So I mean, that illustrates that point to me exactly, Also, me and David, because David went to school in Madison, Wisconsin, and we drove from there to Chicago to look for that jam, and we just never found it. This is before GPS.
Wow.
We drove around for like 2 hours. It was just like, I don't know where we are, and we just ended up driving back to Madison. It was like, we were like, oh yeah, this thing, Von Freeman has a jam. This must have been in what? 89, 90, maybe 91. Yeah, but we never, so I regret maybe we would have met.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll do, is there still people checking it out?
Yeah, we still got about 55 people.
Wow. Okay, let's play some.
They're not getting bored.
Let's play something. Let's play a standard. You have your thing?
Yeah, I've got whatever.
Let's do. Oh, didn't we do? We could. Let's come back to that. Let's do.
You got a request for Monk?
Monk. Let's do some Monk. Let's do. In Walk Bud. Thank you so much. In Walked Bud by Thelonious Monk. Any other comments? Quiet down a little bit.
Did you guys talk during my bass solo? Is that what's going on?
No.
I'm guessing that's just saying it's nice to be able to hear the bass solo, to not be,
Maybe. You know, the bar is not open, so they can't go get a drink while the bar is not open, so they can't go get a drink while I'm playing.
Exactly, yeah. Let's maybe do a couple more. We have another tune. This is another recent tune of mine. It's called Everyday Despair. Thank you. Good night.
Thank you all.
I can't really see, but is anybody left? This is very strange to play.
Yeah, we still got about 45 people online,
Cool.
and Todd Strait has a message to you guys.
What is that?
Thanks again, man. You are. I can hardly see it.
You are sounding stronger than ever. The sound and video quality was. Sorry, I should read this here.
Really excellent. So glad, since this is definitely a powerhouse trio. Sure miss you all. See you soon, I hope. Thank you, Todd.
Miss
Hope
you,
to
Todd.
See you soon as well.
Oh, he says encore.
Ben
too.
Lewis is on from Chicago. Yeah, guys. Some emojis that I don't. Oh, clappy hand emojis. Encore from Todd Strait. Thank you. I'm still here. From Francesca. Still here. Rivka. Thank you all for playing at the
Troopers.
1905 from the great Aaron Barnes. Thank you for having us, Aaron. What else? Hey there, George Colligan from
Hey, Conrad.
Gale. Can you see it?
Hey, Chorman.
Nice show. Left door
Chorman
streaming
went to
was
my high
great.
school.
From Sherman.
And great left door streaming. Killing it.
Yeah.
Well, only Todd asked for an encore, so I don't know.
Asking for one, man. We don't get
That's true.
playing piano very
All right, let's do. Reed is there. All right. Well, thanks everybody. We're gonna do a quick encore for you. Try to leave you wanting more rather than wanting less. If you play an encore, then they're like, you should have just left well enough alone. Okay, we'll do one more. Thanks for listening. Once again, $20 to add to the tip. We'll put you in the raffle for a $100 gift certificate. Thanks to
Wendy.
Left Door Streaming. Thanks to 1905. Once again, Eric Gruber on the bass. Michael Rayner on the drums. Your trio is the best. Okay, well, I'm going to use that quote going forward. So I want to make sure I have your name down. Sharon O'Keefe says, your trio is the best.
I mean, there it is.
What can you
Write it
do? I
down.
mean, you can't argue with that.
Yeah. Sorry, Greg.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. I'm sure he got a lot of compliments. Thanks, Greg Goebel, for hooking us up with the situation. What do you feel like?
Whatever, man.
Oh yeah, we got another tune, a new tune called Belief Systems. We got a lot of. Oh, and since Eric brought his bass, it's called Belief Systems.
This one's for Reed. Thanks, Reed, for selling me this bass.
Oh, really? Yeah, you don't want to just play it on one tune. You got to play it on two tunes. I always hate that if you bring some extra apparatus and you only get to do it on one tune. Or I remember I brought my keyboard.
Well, it works because when I play more than one instrument, I get paid more, right?
Interesting theory, but sadly.
And are you going to play the guitar at all?
The guitar, I left it in the car.
Okay, belief system, right?
Yeah, I gotta find it. Oh, here it is. Here we go. Thank you very much. As my stand goes down.
Thank you all for sticking around the whole time.
Really appreciate it. Michael Rayner on the drums, Eric Gruber on the bass. Thank you to Moses Barrett and Left Door Streaming, and the 1905, Aaron Barnes, Holly Resnick, and I'm George Colligan, and hopefully we'll see you again. I do my own little streaming thing every Sunday at 2 from my house, so that's been fun. We'll see you next time. Good night.